Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death you're listening to our show. Yes, this is episode number 444.
Ooh.
444.
Wow.
Enunciating the fours. Super exciting. We have got a fantastic guest that we have had the pleasure of playing the instrument that this guest makes. Man, now we're talking to him. Guest, who are you?
Hey, I'm Jonathan Fellows Guitars.
Fellows Guitars, yes. I did a posting on this. You probably, those who are following us on Instagram as well, probably saw it. It is a gorgeous red guitar. I mean, I was just going to try to explain.
I'd call it root beer red.
Root beer red? Yeah. No, man, that was red. That was like
cherry red, dark cherry.
I called it black cherry.
Black cherry.
Yeah.
Black cherry metallic is what I called that one.
There you go.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that, guys, actually that's candy apple red over a black base.
Really? Okay.
So traditionally a candy apple red goes over, either a metallic silver or a metallic gold, right?
Yeah.
So this is candy apple red metallic, transparent over a black solid base.
Wow. All right.
That's why I gave it that. Like, it's just a cool look, man. It's really sweet.
Yeah,
It
for
really
sure.
is.
Well, we're going to find out all about the ingredients and what goes on in your guitar kitchen in just a couple minutes. Where can people go see the things that you do, Jonathan?
www.fellowsguitars and @fellowsguitars on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that stuff.
Okay. And you should we continue to call you Jonathan?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. I just want to honor that of the guests, everybody.
I'm going to call him Than.
No, that's,
Hey, Than, what's going on, man?
no. We haven't even made it like 3 minutes into the thing, and it's already at the bottom of the joke pile.
Oh,
Jeez.
I'll get
I'm
better.
just kidding. Okay,
I'll
thanks.
get better,
Thanks,
Todd.
Tony. That's a promise. You pinky sweared.
I swore.
All right. Well, we're going to have a good time tonight, guys. We got a couple of announcements real quick. First of all, Tony, you had one?
Yeah, I do. I was sad to say I was so looking forward to this show.
Why were you sad about that?
Not this show.
Oh.
I never look forward to this show. No, I always do. No, the Stray Cats had to cancel their entire North American tour, and they were scheduled to be here in Columbus on Halloween.
Yeah.
And sadly, I mean, even more sadder than having to cancel the show, one of my guitar heroes, Brian Setzer, has some autoimmune disorder now.
Oh, no.
And he can't play a guitar.
What?
He describes his symptoms as trying to play a guitar with oven mitts on.
Wow.
And I mean,
I saw that.
this guy, I mean,
Yeah.
he may not be everyone's cup of tea, but when it comes to rockabilly, there's nobody better.
Yeah,
in my book.
rockabilly, big band, like all that stuff. He was a
smoking
showman too. Jeez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I hope that there is some improvement over time, but it sounds really bad.
Wow.
And he was
He's getting up there too.
well, yeah, he's a little bit older than me, but
Yeah. Well, so really up there.
yeah, triple digits almost. No, no, but I was really looking forward to that show. I mean, I've loved the Stray Cats since the '80s.
Yeah.
and they, just to see them one last time.
Yeah.
But wasn't in the cards.
C'est la vie.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, thanks for that.
get better, Brian.
Another announcement. So we just had Copper Sound on the show.
Yes.
As if hopefully you guys have all listened to that episode and heard about the giveaway that we have. Please make your way over to coppersoundpedals.com/guitar knobs. And all you got to do is enter I think it's just your email.
email and says, yes, I want to enter this contest.
Yeah. And
To win a Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher
V2.
2. Yes. So the gentleman's collective at Copper Sound said this would be a good idea, and we're here to make that happen. So
Yeah,
thank you guys for doing that for us. We really appreciate it. We love getting gear in the hands of our listeners. Also, speaking of getting gear in the hands of our listeners, we've only got, now when this airs, I don't know how many we'll have left. I got to be honest. But as of right now, we have
Less than a handful.
I think there's 3
Oh,
Tony Baloney's
that's
left.
really less than a handful.
Yeah, so get on that. That's it. That's all there is. No mas after that.
That's right.
Okay. If you want it, you can't figure out how to do it. Well, I'll tell you. You got to go to Tony Baloney Pedal, TonyBoloney, Baloney
Yes.
Pedal on Instagram, and just drop a message, a direct message, and Sam Jett will say, "Great, I got you on the invoice." It isn't too complicated. We've got all the rest taken care of. So, but if you just like stymied, you can't figure it out, and you're like, "Help!" Just shoot me a DM, and I will get you hooked up. Okay?
Yes.
We want to get these in the hands of the final folks that need them.
Yes.
And by the way, the money spent, they're $175,
Yep.
and that's going to charity.
Yes, Hungry for Music.
Hungry for Music.
Puts musical instruments into the hands of kids that need them.
That is correct. And I'm really hoping that in episode 445, we can say that they're all gone.
Yes.
That means kids are getting musical instruments in their hands.
Do it.
And somebody's got some really great sounding pedals on their boards.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's get on with what's going on in our music world this week. We're going to let Tony Baloney kick it off. So, Jonathan, you can just, follow his lead, see how it goes, and then we'll find out what you're doing, okay?
It's like a little dance.
Yes. Go ahead, Tanya.
All righty. So, a couple episodes ago, we had our good friend Dave Hunter on. We were talking about the Telecaster 75 yearbook.
Yes, great book.
And as we were after that episode, I said, do I have his last book, which was the Stratocaster 70 Years? And I realized that I did not. So now I do.
Oh.
So this is I love slipcover books.
Yes, those are great.
I mean, it really is. This book, if you're a fan of the even if you're not a fan of the Stratocaster, it is chock full of great photography, a good history. There's some similarities, I guess, in the early chapters of, what's going, how Leo got started and how the Fender Factory got started and things, which is to be expected. In fact, we talked about that.
But Dave goes above and beyond
Yes.
where most books kind of start out and sit at.
Yes. So what was even cooler, maybe not so much for Dave, but I found a copy that was, they called it used like new.
Yeah.
For considerably less. And when I got it, it came from outside of Amazon. It was from a bookseller, and it still had the plastic wrap on it.
Wow.
So used like new.
Yeah.
I just say like new,
Yes. Or new.
like new.
Yes.
See?
Like new, man.
Like new. So I guess the lesson learned is if you are looking for a book or maybe an album or anything like that, don't be afraid to go down below. You might go into Amazon and say, oh, I want this. But look down below, and sometimes they say new and used from blah-blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I've always had very good luck with some of the so-called used. Sometimes they're returned. Sometimes they're slightly damaged.
And if you can't, this book is wickedly affordable, too.
Oh, yeah. It's like a $35 book.
something.
Yeah. So don't,
But it's like, it looks and feels and reads like a 60 at least.
I would say a $65 book.
$65 book. Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Tony, for sharing that.
And thank you, Dave, for writing such another such great
yes,
book.
we look forward to the next one.
Yes.
Jonathan,
Yes, sir.
aside from the thing that you do so well, building guitars, is there anything that's happening in your music world and just for a little, it can be actually guitar related, pedal related. Maybe you got some new vinyl. Maybe
Saw a
great band. Anything going on in your music world?
Man, this year has been so just insane. Before all the other craziness started, it was set up to be like, for me, the year of guitar shows, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to make a push right now, and just really trying to get my stuff in front of people. So I think I've done already like 9 guitar shows this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been just insane. Some of them were perfect, like right up my alley, kind of my market, my customers coming in. Others were like, used and vintage shows and stuff, but just people who love to play guitars just getting out there. And so it's been, I don't think I've seen a show this year. Like, just because it's been so insane.
Wow.
But I will, I will say that, and I'll get into this a little bit in the when we do our 4 on the floor.
Yeah,
we're going to do that tonight.
Yes.
So, but my son-in-law he is an amazing musician. Plays drums, plays bass, plays guitar, plays cello, plays all kinds of stuff. And he actually he's an electrical engineer by trade, and he launched a pedal company this year.
Oh, wow.
And so my pedal situation, we'll get to that in a minute, is usually pretty bland. I'm not a big pedal guy. I'm just like you just need the tools to get the job done kind of guy, because I build a lot more than I play. And but he built an amazing pedal, and I don't know if you want to talk about it now or talk about it in the future, but his debut pedal is it's a showstopper.
What's the company called?
His brand is Nuclear Audio.
Okay.
And like his website is, you gotta, he's new, so it won't come up right away. It's nuclear-audio.com.
All right.
But he built a drive pedal that changed the way that you think about drive pedals.
Okay. Well, that's quite a sale, my friend.
Yeah. So you want me to talk about this now?
Is it going to be in your 4 on the floor?
Yeah, I was going to go over it then, but let's
go on it. Let's go over it then.
Okay, perfect. But so just, honestly, just seeing him go through that process and being able to support him as he's trying to step out and do something new, because, he's really been a musician and also an engineer, and putting those couple things together and coming up with a really unique idea. And we've been pushing him to do this for a while. And, I'm excited to see where it takes him.
I think it's going to take him on this show, man. I'm looking at it right now. I'd love to talk to him. So if you could put a bug in his ear, we'd be
absolutely
much obliged.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I mean, he's like way not in the industry, like he just does his thing and he makes his music, and he plays with us at church, and he's raising my grandson with his wife, and it's my grandson. Yeah. And he's I think I said the other way around, but,
yeah.
but
he's been a busy boy.
Yeah. No. But so it's just like, I'm excited for him. Right. And I'm trying to figure out what I can do to
it looks awesome. I'm sure it sounds awesome. We're going to hear more about it real soon.
Yep.
What about you, Todd?
Well, I had there's several guitar things going on, but I was just kind of, I was hanging out with my good friend, Mark DiCenzo, down the road. People who have been listening long enough have heard his name come up.
Yes.
He was the person who engineered our initial,
yes,
radio station setup, because before the
Rodecaster Pro.
Yes, before the Rodecaster Pro existed, we had an analog Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah, essentially.
It was crazy, and he built it. So anyways,
Do we still have that somewhere?
No, that's been dismantled.
Oh,
long.
I wanted to
long
put
down
that
the
in
road.
the Guitar Knobs Museum.
Well, if I would have thought about it, I should have kept it. But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. One thing that he and I both love doing is like I'll go over to his place and every so often, and we'll hang out and just talk about music, listen to records, and he has a record collection that is really hard to believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there's just one like laying on the floor, and I'm like, hey, what's this? And he goes, oh, that's the most expensive record I have. Like, what? And it's some Brazilian record that's like worth thousands of dollars. I'm like, put it take it off the floor, man. Anyways. But we were talking about the undertones for some reason. He goes, oh, hang on. He runs upstairs and he comes out. He goes, this is an original one. It's because blah, 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 rare release. I can't even find the album cover on Discogs. That's how. So I got home and I played that, and the undertones were great. Really an underrated, underappreciated band, especially here. Probably more appreciated over in the UK. They're from Northern Ireland. But they had they did Teenage Kicks and Get Over You, and oh man, great stuff. But anyways,
I like the overtones better.
Yeah, you would.
Yes.
Anyway, so that was a lot of fun.
So I have a question
something
for
that's
you.
rare. It's like, ooh,
So you sent me a photo.
I did I?
You were listening to Big Star's second album.
I wasn't.
Mark gave it a thumbs up,
Yes.
and Todd gave it a thumbs down.
Yes, really just to rage bait you.
Okay, was that what it was?
And it worked.
Yes,
Immediately.
it did. I
And
was
we
upset.
both had a laugh.
I was upset for weeks.
Yes.
Months even.
Jonathan, are you a fan of Big Star?
No.
Okay. Well, you and I are holding company.
All right, this interview is over.
I know. I'm gonna get lots of rocks because between Stratocasters and Big Star.
Well, you're
making
not
friends.
you're not terribly far from Memphis, are you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's a long ways. Yeah.
No, it is a long ways.
I'm at the other side of Missouri. Like I'm in the southwest corner, and so like Memphis would be kind of closer to the southeast corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways, that's what I did, and I had great fun. And I'm gonna get that back to him real soon, after I played a few more times. So, and you know what, Tony?
What, Todd?
If you're listening to records and stuff, it's a great time to sort out your patch cable collection.
I know.
Right?
I was just thinking that.
And it makes it easy because I only have one kind of patch cable to sort out.
What would that be?
It's the Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
Is there any other kind?
I organize them by shape, so C shape and S shape, and by size.
Length.
And I line them all up, and I take a picture. And then I jam them all into a box again. It's great fun. Anyways, if you're interested in doing something like that, head over to tourgeardesigns.com. Load up your cart with all these incredible patch cables.
Load it up.
And hit purchase. Now, don't freak out. That when you do that, it is going to launch a tiny little window that says,
do you have a coupon code?
Enter your coupon code. And what is the coupon code?
The Guitar Knobs, all lowercase, all one word.
And that saves you
15%.
While it lasts, everybody. We keep saying that. They're still being good, I'm pretty sure. So
I mean, they're already reasonably priced.
Yes.
But an extra 15%, take it.
Yep.
Take it while you can.
You will not be sorry. Anyways, thank you to Tour Gear for sponsoring our Four on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3.
Four on the floor.
All right. Jonathan Fellows of Fellows Guitars, what is your Four on the Floor?
So if we had done this podcast 3 months ago, I would have said, I only play with 4 pedals, and one of them's always my trusty TU3 Boss tuner. So I really only have 3 pedals. And I have historically switched back and forth between either, for a drive pedal first, either a Morning Glory or a DOD 250, because I told you guys before, I'm not a big like fancy pedal guy. I'm a get it done pedal guy, and either of those will get the job done depending on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Right? And then
So wait, is that your number one? Which is your
so that's
one?
what it would have been.
Okay, gotcha.
But now
you're all fancy, right?
I've replaced that with what I hinted at earlier in the show, which is that nuclear audio fission drive. And let me tell you about this pedal. So it starts off when your signal enters the pedal, the first place it goes is to a crossover. So it splits your signal into the highs and the lows, and into separate channels. One channel for highs, one channel for lows, and it's controllable. So you can adjust where that split happens. And if you happen to play bass, this works for you because you just flip a little mini toggle and it switches the frequency range to work for bass versus guitar.
High range and low range, I can see
High range
that.
and low range. So once you go to each channel then, so you've got a high channel and a low channel, each channel then you can control the drive on that channel independently of each other. So you can run your highs clean and overdrive your lows and how much you want to overdrive them. And you have low gain and high gain options for both of those. So you can run your low end clean and your highs all, dirty if you want. And the best part, like here's where the real innovation on this is that each of those channels also has its own effects loop.
Wow.
So, for example, you could take a tremolo pedal or a phaser or flanger or something like that and only apply it to one part of your frequency range.
What?
So just your highs and not your lows, or vice versa. And of course, and remember, you can adjust where that cutoff is. And you can make that chain as long as you want. You want to add delay and reverb and a bunch of stuff to your highs, but keep your lows clean. You can do that. And then after that, the signals come back together and they go through essentially just a tone and a volume circuit. But even that tone circuit, you can adjust it whether you want sort of a standard sort of tone sweep or whether you want to essentially make it like a notch and just take out a certain section of the frequency range.
Wow.
So it's really changed the way that I think about using drive pedals, because it's just, again, I'm not a big effects guy, so I don't usually add a bunch of that stuff unless I'm just playing around in my home office or whatever. But even just being able to say, you know what, I want to really drive the mids and have clean high end or whatever I want to do. It's just the coolest drive pedal I've ever seen.
Well, it looks cool. It certainly sounds like this is kind of a beyond cool pedal. And I'm actually sending a message to him on the Instagram right now. So yeah, I mean, we love finding new things.
And it's just an idea that he's been marinating on for years, and we just kept pushing him to do it. And actually, other people besides me pushed him even more than I did. But he sat down and did it, and
it's brilliant.
And it came out crazy. He pre-sold like 10 of them. Those are out there in the world. And then he did another batch that just dropped last week. And those are available for sale right now. And, but it's that, he's working through that whole thing of being a new person and not having a reputation and trying to get the word out and get people to try it and do all that stuff.
We can do our best to help with that.
So after that, though, I go back to the old boring stuff, right? I mean, it goes from there on my pedal board into a DD5 with a tap tempo pedal and a JHS Alpine reverb. And so the DD5, the reason I do that is because I use a standalone tap tempo, right? An offline that I can just plug in and be able to adjust that. And then the Alpine, I like that because you can preset 2 different reverb settings, right? So I can kind of have like a little bit of reverb or a lot of reverb, and I can switch between that just with one tap, right? Yeah. And that's why I like that one.
It's a really solid pedal.
Well, and it's just like none of those are not new, right? Like they don't even make those. They don't make the DD5 anymore. I don't even know about the Alpine, but it's just like they do what I need them to do, and so I just I don't have, I spend my time for innovation and fooling around on my guitar stuff, on the ones I want to build and trying to come up with innovative things for that. I don't really have a lot of time to just fool around with all the latest and greatest little toys that are out there because, there's just so much time, right?
Yep. I appreciate that. Okay, well, that was a very good 4 on the floor for, before the show, you were like, this isn't going to be very good. It was great. That was good. I'd actually like to play one of those dual reverbs because I actually have a song right now where I need 2 different reverbs in it, and I'm doing some pretty fancy tip tapping on the HX Stomp right now because that's the only way I'm able to do this. So that would actually solve some problems.
That Alpine, actually, what it is it's just like you can just preset one side to be more or less.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't change the speed or the depth or any of that stuff. It's just the how wet it is.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
and
exactly what I'm doing.
And like extra.
I have 2 of my 3 foot switches for this particular setting on the HX Stomp set to exactly what you just said. And what's nice is when I start the song, I have it super wet, and the one right next to it is much less wet to carry through the rest of the song. Mm-hmm. And if I just step on both at the same time, it just alternates between the 2. It works. I mean, I'm making it work.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. You always figure it out. You do what you got to do, right?
That's yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I have that one on there. It's just because, sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. And I don't want to bend over. I'm too old for that crap. To turn a knob in the middle of a set,
Yeah, I hear you. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And yes, please, after we're done with this show, let your son-in-law know that we're getting a hold of him. Okay.
Cool.
All right. All right. Now we have you on the show because, well, the friend of our show is Co Schneider, and we hope he's doing well out there. Co, thank you for getting us connected with Jonathan. Jonathan, you sent us out a flippin' gorgeous guitar.
Oh, yes.
It was really something. If you want to see this and peruse it, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to fellowsguitars.com, and in the available guitars section, you're going to see what's called the F3 Standard in black cherry metallic. And we've posted pictures, and we did some stuff on Instagram with that. So you've seen a little bit more intimately, but this is going to tell you all about it. And we're going to get into all of these cool decisions that you made in designing this guitar and from whence your guitar designing came. How's that sound?
Yeah. Sounds great.
Good. I assume you haven't always been a guitar builder since birth. So when did this start happening, and how?
So I've been doing it for probably about 15 years overall, as a business for 10 or 12. But it's something that as I've gained more time in my life, I've been able to put more energy into, so really the last 5 to 7 years, I've really been, really making a big push to just get these things out there where people can get their hands on them,
What was the initial impetus to start making guitars?
Well, this is going to be funny, but I made my first guitar because I didn't have any money and I wanted a nicer guitar than I could afford. And so it actually didn't end up working out quite that way because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But it kind of ignited a fire, right? It's like when you kind of discover that passion, it takes over at that point, and then you're like, well, okay, I got to do this better because I really feel like I need to be doing this. And so, the first guitar I ever made, this is long before it was ever a business, before I had anything. This is before the days of YouTube videos, all of that. I initially learned how to build guitars just from reading stuff, just being in the forums.
Yeah.
Back in the forums, 15, 18 years ago. And so I went off, I didn't know what I was doing, but I went out on, back then it was Craigslist, right? There was no Facebook Marketplace. Everything was Craigslist. For $40, I bought a broken Epiphone Bolt-on SG.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And it was one where basically the neck pocket had broken, and I thought the SG shape was so cool. And this whole thing was pretty simple. I had no clue how to build a neck. So I basically set about making a new body for that bolt-on SG neck. And then I stripped the neck down and I completely refinished it. And I did it. And I made this gorgeous body out of walnut, and I laminated my own pick guard and just did all this bunch of stuff. And it came together, and it played like a $99 Epiphone SG bolt-on, because that's what it started out as.
Polishing a turd, as they say.
Yeah, but it looks fantastic. It hangs in my office today because it was the first thing I did. I learned how to wire guitars. But it really sort of ignited that passion. And then I built a bunch of crappy guitars on the way to learning how to do it right. I took classes. I mentored under some people. I did, all the different things you have to do to learn how to do it right. And until I really reached the level where I knew that what I was putting out there was something that I would be excited to buy. I didn't even try to sell anything. I still feel like, there's a little bit of imposter syndrome with some of this stuff, because it's, I feel like, I'm just a guy. But I also know that, the quality of the stuff I'm putting out now is I think people are really happy with it. So,
yeah. You're just a guy with a guitar asking a guy who wants a guitar, do you want a guitar?
Right. Exactly. And you ask that a lot, and people say, I'd love one, but I can't afford one, and then sometimes someone says, sure,
Yeah. Yeah. We're one of the things that I think Tony and I, upon first inspection of this, we were very, very impressed with the fit, the finish, the build.
Yep.
The way that you're kind of setting this up, you're probably not the kind of person that is going to tell everybody how awesome you are. But ladies and gentlemen, this was a pretty stunning guitar. Tony and I were both, we were going over every millimeter of that thing, and we're like, this is dang near flawless.
Yeah.
I also brought it over to our good friend Chase Gullett.
Oh.
I said, man, Chase, you got to see this thing. And,
Chase is someone I'd really like to get to know. So,
I'm sure he would be. He is a very kind and easy to get to know person. So, please reach out, and I'll let him know that too. But he was like, wow. Over every inch, he's like, this is a really, really nice guitar.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's hard because there's a lot of builders out there who have a lot of great ideas. And as we know, this happens with pedals. This happens with a lot of things. Like it is rare for someone to say, I have a great idea and I'm going to be an expert luthier, and I'm going to be an expert marketer, and I'm going to be an expert painter, and I'm going to be on down the line, right? It's very, very rare for somebody to have 10s across the board on all of that. And for the most part, that's just what most builders have to deal with, because they don't have an army of people. So the pedal can sound great, but maybe it doesn't look so awesome, or it's not put together as well, or usually they find a way, and by leaning on other people. But I think that luthiers probably don't have as much help as most of them need. after watching Chase do his thing for 10 years, I mean, it's tough sometimes. I'm like, man, dude, you got to get you need a little help here. How is it with your building?
So, I mean, everything you just said, I can accept except the marketing part, right? And I think that's the hardest part because it's so hard to figure out how to do that effectively. I don't want to just throw money away and pay for marketing that's not effective. And to be honest, it's like when you're talking about guitars at this level, it's you can see all the cool things you want, but people want to put their hands on them.
Yeah.
People want to play them. People want to touch them before they make a decision. And so that's why I did this year, I mentioned earlier, as kind of like the year of guitar shows, because I've had my best year ever as far as selling guitars.
Yeah.
And I think that because people got their hands on them, it's like you can do all the Instagram posts you want and I don't do it, but you can pay for Facebook ads and you can pay for this and that and stuff. And it's like you get a lot of likes, but those likes don't translate into sales in our world because, it's really easy to make a guitar look good in a picture. It's a whole other thing to hold it in your hands and understand that whether this is like a well-built, well-set up, well-constructed, guitar that you're going to connect with.
Yeah.
People buy guitars in this price range because they connect with them, not because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, someone just wants something that looks cool, but mostly it's because they got to play right?
Exactly.
And so, and that's why I've done so much, so I don't feel like I've done a 10 on marketing, I guess is what I'm saying. I do feel like my guitars are quality, but I feel like, I've got to figure things out. So I don't have any more shows the rest of this year. I did NAMM the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Which was probably a huge waste of money. I probably should have done something different. I always felt like if I could just get to NAMM, then I could make it, and I didn't get a lot out of it. I got a lot of likes and I got a lot of visits and I got a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
But I've gotten more out of the other stuff I've done this year than that. And so actually this coming January, I think you guys are going to go to NAMM, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
So this coming year, I'm actually doing the Woodwire Volt show.
I was just going to say, you need to talk to Curtis Novak and get on that Woodwire and Volts, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that because honestly,
it was hard to get in, man. I started emailing Curtis in March, or maybe late February, like just shortly after I got home from NAMM, and people had told me about his show. And obviously I couldn't go check it out because I was running my booth at NAMM.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, Curtis, I use your guitars or your pickups in my basses. Please let me into the show. And, and eventually I heard back, and I think he's working with Castadosa Guitars, who are doing a lot of the scheduling and planning of that now. And I was able to get in. So that's where I'm going to be this year instead of NAMM. So if you guys are in the area, please.
Oh
please
yeah,
stop
for
by.
Sure. That was such a great addition to the show. And I think a welcome breath of fresh air to it because, well, just the thing that you said, it's like, yeah, you're there, but the type of people that are going to be interested in yours, even though there's 100,000 people there, everybody's there for different reasons. And if you can say this over here is for all of these specific kind of people, it's great. I remember going into Woodwire and Volts and I was like, wow. And also because I was like, wow, I get to talk to a whole bunch of people that have been on our show that I haven't been able to meet in person. I love that.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were at NAMM last year and you didn't find me.
That is correct.
Right. And I was there and I had a booth and I wasn't tucked away in a corner and I wasn't in the basement. I was right on the main floor. I wasn't hiding anywhere, but it's such a big thing.
Yeah.
And there's so many distractions.
You get turned around, you get distracted. You go like, oh, there's a big crowd over there. I'll come back to it later. You don't go to it, or you know.
No joke, right? So I think this is more focused, and I learned that what really confirmed that for me was the best show I did this year was the Fretboard Summit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which again is a curated audience.
Yeah.
Right. It's the folks who are coming in there are interested specifically in boutique guitars.
Yep.
Now that started as a, mostly acoustic and, archtop and that kind of thing. But in recent years, they've really expanded the electric side of things. And, I felt I just felt like that was a great fit when I was there that weekend. And I sold more guitars there than any place else ever.
Outstanding.
So I'm really looking forward to the Woodwire Volts. Actually, my biggest challenge with all this other stuff going on is that I did have such a good year as for being just a one-man shop that I am really shy on inventory. I've got a lot of work to do before that show.
Yeah.
To have some stuff to take,
Well, if this doesn't disappear before then, I want to point the people who are listening. Once you, if you're near a computer, get over to thefellowsguitars.com again and the available guitars, and I want you to take a look at the F3 Standard Olympic White.
That sold last weekend.
That is a stunning guitar. Wow.
Yeah, I sold that last weekend.
Okay, well, there we go. Hopefully that's
it's not
trend.
marked sold on there. It's my bad. So,
well, but that's also baiting people in the best way because they can say, "Can you make another one of those?" And
that's it. Anything you see in the so on my available guitars page, I think there's only like 3 guitars and 3 basses that are available. The rest are marked sold out. But I tend to leave them there just because it's like if you see something that you like. I can, if I made it before, I can make it again. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm trying to make sure people can see that, this truly is a custom thing. It's not I either build custom or I build on spec, and the stuff I build on spec, I try to always do something different than what I've done before. Like the guitars, like I have 6 guitars in construction right now that are, going to be added to what's available. And I'm going to have those at the show in January. But none of them are going to look like anything that's already on there, because I'm building them on spec. So I'm going to build something that looks now feature wise, they're going to be the same, but in terms of the appearance, it's going to be different finishes. It's going to be different woods. It's going to be different things like that. So just trying to show that breadth as much as I can so that someone can come in and see it and say, I want just like this, but I want to tweak that or tweak that,
Yeah. Tell us about how you're doing the necks. Cause I got to tell you, you can tell somebody who likes the guitars when they're like, yeah, the top's great. Look at this neck. Oh my gosh.
So you mean the fit and finish or the shape?
Well, I guess your approach to it. When you said, "Hey, I'm going to make this the fellow's neck," what goes into that?
So you know what? I made the neck that feels comfortable to me, and then of course I can do anything. So if someone says, "Oh, I want it to be this profile. I want it to be thin. I want it to be thick. I want it to be, square V or I can do any of that stuff, right? But this, like what you got there when you test drove that guitar, right?
Yeah.
So that's my default, and honestly, it's what felt comfortable to me in the beginning, and I have jigs to help make sure that I always get it the same when I do it, and that's my default if someone doesn't ask for something different. And I feel like it's a very comfortable neck.
It really is. Tell us about the shape, because it's not a as common a shape as maybe most people think.
Well, it's really, it started as more like a Fender Modern C, but it's a little bit thicker than that, but not so much that it's uncomfortable or feels fat, right?
Right.
So it's like just finding that thing where it's like, you know what? Well, it's kind of the same philosophy as the body shape, right? So our goal when we designed that body shape was we wanted something that was familiar yet different in a good way, right? And so when you play one of my necks, it will feel familiar, but a little bit different.
Yeah. If correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the apex of that curve like just a little offset?
Just a tiny bit, but I'm surprised you noticed that. Most people don't ever notice that, you know.
Well,
Todd is very particular.
I'm beaming right now. Let me tell you that. I mean, that's the first
that
thing.
was almost an accident due to a sloppy jig the first time it happened. And it, you know, I mean, it's very, very, very subtle.
It is, but I don't know, man. I picked it up. That is the very first thing I noticed. And I just said to Tony, I drew a shape, and I'm like,
yeah,
wasn't it like this? And he's like, I think so.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me go like, oh, this is a little bit different. That's kind of nice. Feels good.
Right. But again, that being said, I have the jigs and templates and profiles and all that stuff to do. Like someone doesn't, if that's not their jam, right?
Yeah.
I'll do what they want, right?
Yeah.
That's because it's always about doing it right. But it's very comfortable. It's a very, very subtle difference. Most people don't even notice it right off. Because it just, you know, it's like when you're playing and it depends on how you fret the neck too, right?
Yes.
Do you fret the neck with the neck in the crook between your thumb and index finger, or do you fret the neck where basically the pad of your thumb is always running down the center of the neck?
So for me, it's the pad of my thumb.
And that's why you felt the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And I liked it a lot. So I mean, I do an awful lot of power chording. I'm a rhythm type guy. Like fully cupping the neck is like not. I don't do a ton of that. And I'm also not doing a ton of wheedly. So
right.
I noticed that right out of the gate, and I do like that.
Yeah, and now so that neck. So my necks are usually either mahogany they're usually maple. Sometimes mahogany. That one that you got was a mahogany neck.
Yeah.
It was stained a little bit darker just to make it match to make it coordinate better with the body and the fretboard and all that.
Yeah. And it was you just had a kiss of finish on it, right?
No, actually, I mean, with mahogany, you've got to put a certain amount on because you got to fill those pores, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to feel any of those pores. And then, but that one had a satin finish.
Yeah.
I do both. I do gloss. I do satin. I just sort of, it's interchangeable. I just sort of flip back and forth.
Yeah, I did like the satin.
That one just came out, I felt like when I painted it, I looked at it and I said, nah, the gloss is too much. This one needs satin.
Yeah. Well,
and a lot of times, unless it's a customer order, it's kind of a game time decision after I painted the body. And I just look at it and sort of say, what's going to complement the body the most?
Yeah.
Because that one would have been too much if it was a gloss neck.
Yeah. Or as we like to say, it's too much.
Right. But on the other hand, like, you've seen, I do some sparkle finishes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? The gloss looks great on a sparkle finish neck, a sparkle body, right? Having the satin actually may detract from a sparkle body.
Yes.
Because it just would feel like, it just feels too plain next to that fancy of a body. So, when I'm doing that, that's how I'm making those decisions at the end, when I'm actually doing the finishing, because, with the satin, like with a satin, when you're painting a satin neck, you just take a gloss neck and you do one more coat, and that last final coat is satin, and that's, and then you're done and you just leave it and you don't have to go buff it and do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, something very specific here on the main part of the guitar, as people say, the rectangle thingies in the middle. This has some wild pickups, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about these pickups.
So those pickups were made by Righteous Sound Pickups.
Righteous Sound Pickups.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know Josh.
I don't know Josh, but that's another person we're going to try to get hold of because Tony and I were both like, whoa, what is this?
So Josh makes the most amazing pickups. Josh is a full-time one-man shop pickup builder out of Austin, Texas, operating as Righteous Sound Pickups.
Yep.
He's been making pickups for a long, long time. He'll need to share his story, not me, but he worked for some other pickup builders before he went out on his own. And he makes the most great sounding combination of great sounding and cool looking custom pickups that you could, you saw them. They're fantastic. Yeah. He also has a contract where he builds a bunch of pickups for Callings there in Austin.
Yeah.
For Callings guitars. So, he's the real deal, man, and he makes great stuff. And those particular pickups are what he calls his diadem set, where it's a neck P90 and a humbucker bridge, which, by the way, that is my favorite guitar pickup combination in the world, right? It's a P90 in the neck and a humbucker in the bridge. And it's just because it's so freaking versatile. Yeah. And the middle position sounds so full compared to a lot of other pickup combinations. And then this particular one, not only is it that, but he did the diadem set is made with staple magnets, and he kind of puts them on axis, like at like a 45-degree angle. So it really looks sharp. And then he does some cool stuff with the inserts and, that one, they were silver, but sometimes, because he's a custom builder, if you look around my site at some of the other guitars, he's done some of the other pickups where, if it's like I built one F3 it's a black body and it's got a red sparkle pick guard. And so it's got the same pickups, the diadem set, but the pickup inserts are red foil. So it really complements the pick guard, and it all comes together in a way that, it gives you a great aesthetic as well as really, really good sounding pickups.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now those ones specifically, and maybe, we'll, like I said, we're going to try to get him on the show, because I think it'd be great to hear more about these, but the humbucker, it appears as though it has rails in the middle. Are those active rails?
No.
That's just aesthetic.
Yeah. In fact, let me get it on my screen so that I can look at it again, because it's like I live this stuff, but then it's like it's easier to look at it to see what you're saying. So no. So on that one, so the top and bottom staple magnets that are set at 45-degree opposing angles. Yeah. Those are the pole pieces. In the middle, that's just a decorative silver foil.
Got it.
Right. Just like it is on that top P90, it's a decorative silver foil. Yeah. So like I said, if you look at on my available guitars page, there's one that's black and red. And you can see the same pickup configuration, same exact pickups, only it's just they've got the red foil there.
Got it.
So yeah, that's an aesthetic thing, and so that's why I love working with Josh, right? Is because I don't have to settle for what he's got on the shelf. I can say to him, okay, this is the sound I want. This is the kind of pickups I want. And then, by the way, I'm painting this one green, and so let's do this with the pickups, with the foil, with the aesthetics of the pickups.
Yeah. Super cool stuff.
And they, as you said, not only do they look good, but they sound really good.
It's a different sounding guitar completely. Yeah. I mean, we can say that that's a humbucker, but I mean, I played that up against, I know it technically is and everything, but it sounds different.
Yeah.
Well, and some of that's just the wind and the magnets, right? I mean, he builds another one that he calls the RAF, and it sounds, if you're looking for that PAF sound, that's it right there.
Yeah.
He's got a wide range of different things that he does. But I want my guitars to be on the cutting edge, so I'm going to put pickups. If I'm building off the shelf stuff, if I'm doing a spec build guitar, I'm going to put stuff in there that's going to push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, and I appreciate that he's pushing, what these things should look like too. Incorporated
well, that's it, right?
with not just that it looks good, but it's like, well, it's got some added goodness to it.
Right. And I'll tell you, so the first batch of these F3s I did was back in 2019. And, none of the pickups had any of these cool features. They looked like humbuckers and P90s and just like we've all seen for a million years. Right.
Yeah.
And they sounded amazing. Right. And it was just like, I went that direction with him because it's what I wanted from the sound, from the functional standpoint of the pickups. And then he's expanded his capabilities over the years since then to allow for more of this, aesthetic customization, which really, brings another edge to it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very cool. And also noticing, anyways, this isn't the righteous pickups show, man.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't want to tell his story.
Yeah, I got to save a little for him.
Yeah. Now let's see here. So models wise, tell us a little bit. Run through kind of how you're approaching some of your models. I'd love to know how you landed on the F3 shape, because that is a standout shape.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, shape design, guitar shape, is actually something that I've personally struggled with over the years. And so that shape right there, I actually collaborated with Co and one other person. And there's a long story, and that's why it ended up being called the F3. But at the end of the day, Co and Paul were very instrumental in, like, we spent 6 months shooting ideas back and forth to come up. Like, they'd shoot me an idea and I'd say, that looks cool, but I can't build it because just like structurally it wasn't going to work.
Right.
And so we went back and forth until we landed on this, and then we built them, and I took like 10 of them with me. Like half of them were pre-sold. I took like 10 of them with me to NAMM 2020. And my plan was then I was going to do Summer NAMM 2020 and then all this stuff. But then, of course, COVID blew the whole world up. So, so we landed on that design after a lot of back and forth. And you'll have to ask Co. He actually has that shape tattooed on his forearm. So.
Oh, wild. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he's committed, man. And then the F3 Elite, right, is really just it looks different, but it's actually exactly the same with just two little cutaways added.
Yeah.
If you connected the peaks of those cutaways, it would be the same shape as the F3.
Well, it's nice because it's subtle. It's a subtle difference, but it's an ownable one.
But it's a huge difference because like that shape, like, unless it's like, if you're looking at, like, I've done a couple with like with like a painted top and binding, semi-hollow kind of thing. If you just painted that a solid color, it doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly as good as the regular F3 does. But the regular F3 doesn't work as well. Like, it's not going to look good if you put binding on it. It's not going to look good as a semi-hollow. It's not going to look good with fancy woods or a fancy top or anything like that. But just that little tiny change of adding those cutaways means, well, I can do the regular F3 versions with all this, any solid color paint, like any paint color, whether it's metallic or flake or just a solid color, satin, gloss, it doesn't matter. It looks good in all of them. It's just, pick the right pick guard and it'll look fantastic.
Yeah.
And then but the Elite is completely the opposite. It's like, not every color looks good on it. If you do a color, you've got to make sure that you have binding and a natural back or a different color or color coordinated back, because with the extra curves, it can become too much real quick, and it's not as slick as the others.
Yeah. So, it's interesting because what the binding does, at least from, not seeing one in person, but when you don't have the binding, you got to round the edges. If you round the edges, then everything kind of starts to look too roundy.
Right.
Yeah, and
because there's too many edges
sharp.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you take that elite shape, and if you get rid of the binding and you round over all the edges. I mean, it works. I mean, on my page, if you look at the one, there's an F3 Elite, ocean blue quilt.
Yeah.
That one's got no binding, and it's got the same rounded edges, and it looks fine. But it wouldn't look fine if it was just a solid color. It would look weird.
Yeah, yeah. That's it's those little subtle things that make all the difference.
And so I did the F3 and the F3 Elite, and I did the Pathfinder bass. And so these are all offsets, right?
Yeah.
And as I really live in that space, and I actually play more bass than I play guitar. And so the Pathfinder bass was really like, that's my favorite. It's the most comfortable shape. It looks the best. I love it. And but then I moved to Missouri. And in the Midwest, you got to make a pointy guitar.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't care. It's a little bit different in each part of the Midwest, but it doesn't matter whether you're, in the upper Midwest, where you guys are, down here in the lower, almost south part of the Midwest in Missouri, like they want pointy guitars. And so I developed the Palisades as essentially a super strat kind of my take on that. Yeah. And then the bass shape that pairs with that is that Altamont bass. Yeah. Which is also more of a pointy thing. And actually that one, I built the first one of those, the first Altamont bass, that shape, I built for my son-in-law, the same one who developed that pedal. I built for him as a wedding present when he married my daughter. And because he's just an amazing bass player, but he's mostly a metal player. Yeah. Except when he plays at church.
Right.
So I was trying to build him a bass that could play metal and play at church.
Yeah.
And so that's where that shape came from. It needed to be able to kind of do that. And that's the one that I can do that's going to be out there. Like, I can do all the satins and all the crazy woods and all the, the really, fancy, anything you want as far as a, sort of a bougie bass kind of a thing. I can do that all day long with that shape. Or I can just, make it, ready to play death metal or something, but then it pairs really nicely with those Altamont, or excuse me, the Palisades guitar model, which is, the super strat, sort of setup.
What's wild is some of the pictures you have for the Altamont, it almost looks like the what's the Ampeg bass that's like cut out in the middle kind of thing. It almost looks like it's cut out in the middle, but it's a metal plate that's reflecting.
Yeah, that one right there has got a chrome metal plate, and so it's reflecting the other side of my shop.
But I was like, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it looks like, you're right. I never really noticed that because I know what it actually is.
Because the background
right now
looks exactly like. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do see that, there is wood there. There's not a hole in it. Yes.
Yeah. Click on it and look at the up close, and you'll see.
Exactly.
You sure it's not a vortex into another dimension?
It could be.
It could be. It could be. I hope it is.
So the next time that people are going to be able to see you out there is going to be at Woodwire and Volts in January. That's correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, do everything you can to get over and say hello. That's the other great thing about Woodwire and Volts. It's much more intimate, and you can actually sit there and talk to the builder. It's great.
And you can try stuff out.
And
not be embarrassed like going into the NAMM show.
They had like a couple of little booths in there where you could just kind of take the stuff. And
I will say also, if you're not going to be on that side of the country, I will be also doing the Nashville show in March.
Oh,
so that's an Amigos show. So it's one of the, like vintage and, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We're going to try to catch that one. We missed it this year, but I think Tony and I are going to try to get down there.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's mostly a used and vintage show, right? Yeah. But But because Nashville is Nashville, and because like I have so many friends in Nashville that like it's just an excuse to go out there and hang out, and also show guitars. But it's also like, you know, if you can make it to Nashville, but if California is too much, but you can make it to Nashville, come see us in Nashville. I think it's the first or second week of March.
Yeah.
So.
We'll be down there. We'll try to connect with Jared and make our way over there. I think that'd be great.
Let's do it.
Well, Jonathan, we are going to round third right now, and Tony's got a little something for us.
Slide. I'm rounding third.
Yes.
Slide.
I got it. I got it.
You got the baseball reference?
Yes. If you slide after you've rounded third, you've done it wrong, but let's just keep going.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah, okay.
Everything I do is obviously wrong. You know, Todd, at this point of the show, there's a little game that we like to play.
Yes.
Do you know what it's called?
Would you rather?
Would you
Thank you,
rather?
Yes.
So, this week, it's the return of our good friend, Professor Squeaky Bellows.
Oh, brother.
I thought it kind of rhymed with fellows. You see. Now, let's give you a little backstory here. Since you failed him miserably the past few times, Professor Squeaky Bellows has grown increasingly angry and desperate.
Yes.
The mad scientist shows up at your gig and sneaks on stage with his accordion-based blow dart gun. You feel that familiar pinprick.
His accordion-based
blow dart gun.
Okay.
When you squeeze the bellows together, a dart comes out and poisons you. You see how that works.
Yes.
You feel that familiar pinprick, and everything goes black.
Uh-huh.
Once again, you wake up in his secret
Was this
lair.
a Pink Floyd thing you're doing?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
There'll be no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't remember, Professor Bellows believes the true rock and roll instrument is the accordion. In his twisted mind, he believes that he can destroy guitar rock music by switching famous Strat players to something a little different.
Uh-huh.
In this case, a mandolin. In order to help the mad scientist complete his mission and once again for you to gain your freedom, you must take his time machine back and substitute a mandolin for one of these famous Strats.
Okay.
Now, this is a threefer.
Gladly.
You and your Todd's love of the Strat is immeasurable. Immeasurable.
Yeah.
This one, there's going to be three options, you see. Option one, the time machine goes back to 1969 and substitute Jimi Hendrix 68 Strat with a mandolin.
Okay.
Option two is back to 1978 and substitute Mark Knopfler's 61 Strat with a mandolin.
Oh.
Option three is back to 1963 and substitute.
I thought you were going to go to the 80s. It looks like you were saying you were going 60s, 70s, 80s.
Well, I'm just writing. I'm just going as it's written down here, Todd. Sorry, I didn't mean not to go in numerical order.
I thought, well,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, option three is back to 1963 and substitute Dick Dale's The Beast Strat with a mandolin.
oh, a left-handed mandolin, no less.
Well, it's a right-handed played upside down.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You see.
Yeah.
Which would you
So that would actually
rather?
be like regular guitar then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, actually,
Well, yeah,
it
because
would-
a mandolin is essentially like the four strings of a guitar turned in reverse, right?
You know, you are correct.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, you know something.
I'm on it, man.
Who's got two thumbs and knows something?
Yeah.
That guy.
This guy. I don't know much about mandolins, but I'm pretty sure it's opposite of a guitar the way it's strung up. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to go, my goal here is to not destroy guitar rock music.
Right.
So I want to foil Professor Squeaky Bellows.
Okay.
Feeble
you can do
attempts.
one of the two options, yes.
Yes, one of the three options.
Sure.
Now, I threw in number 3 because it is kind of a trick question.
Uh-huh.
Because Dick Dale actually did play mandolin very well.
Oh. Well, I would imagine.
And
'cause
his
he didn't have to
style-
learn it upside down.
Well, yeah, there is that as well.
Yeah.
He just left it strung like it was.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. No.
King of the surf
Took
guitar.
the easy route, if you ask me.
The king of the surf guitar
Yes.
could actually play the mandolin very well.
Okay.
And his style that he played. So I'm going to foil Squeaky Bellow's attempts by letting Dick Dale play Miserlou on the mandolin.
Okay. Now, you could have gone with 3 left-handed Strat players, too.
You know,
The eye roll says it all. Okay. That was a terrible idea, Todd. Hey, Jonathan, what are you going with?
I'm going with Knopfler.
so you want to destroy rock music,
No.
guitar
I
rock
think-
music.
No, listen, he's one of my all-time favorite, greatest guitar players ever, I think. And I feel like the way that he plays, he would figure out a way to make it sound absolutely phenomenal, even though he's using a different instrument.
Yeah.
Check out Mandolin George. He knows all
Exactly.
the chords.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Todd?
go right down the middle and put it in Jimmy's hands.
Ah,
Who knows? Maybe we'd all be playing mandolins now.
maybe so.
Look at that guy on the mandolin. We got to get one.
Through a Marshall double stack.
Yeah. Why not?
Actually,
I built a couple of electric mandolins.
Did you?
In the style of the old Fender Mandocasters,
Yeah.
the four-string version. Yeah. It's I can't believe how small those frets are and the spaces between them and all of that. It makes no sense to me, but people who play it, I mean,
Well,
but it's fun, man.
I'm always amazed at you never see little tiny guys playing a mandolin. It's always big dudes.
No, it's just that the mandolin is so small, everyone looks like a big dude.
All right, Tony, you did a fair job at that one. We'll give you a B- on that. No, I'm just kidding. That was great. It was fun. We had a good time. It was fun.
It is fun, and that's what the name of the game is. You
Yes,
see.
well, the name of the game is Would You Rather, but yes. Okay, so we need to thank a few people, Tony. You're taking a beating today. I'm sorry.
I'm going home.
Yes.
Well, I was going to do something here. Oh, I know what it is. At this point of the show, there's a special group of people that we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you, as a mere mortal, become an executive producer? It's quite simple. You head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate. Become a friend, a sponsor, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts. Oh, and opportunities to win some great stuff because we have giveaways all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm told there's one thing more. I'm told there is one thing more. What would that be?
You get to have your name right on the thing.
See? You're getting slower on that button.
You
I
stalled me out. You tricked me.
I tricked you. See, this is what I do. I try to foil Todd's feeble attempts,
Yes.
much like Squeaky Bellows. So special thanks to these executive producers, Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Alad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Plutone, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Barazin, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, and our newest, Ed Rossler.
Yes.
Thank you, Ed. But you know, Todd, there's another group of executive producers. Mm-hmm. These are our grand poobahs. They are the creme de la creme, the A number ones, the top of the heaps. and they wear a fez upon their head whilst listening to this podcast.
Indeed.
So special thanks to these grand poobahs: Anthony Gemalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robinson, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro. Speaking of Moon Guitars, did you see the moon tonight?
No, I'm sitting here. How would I see the moon tonight?
It was huge. It was huge in the sky.
Really?
Yes. Pedro Vasquez. Sam Jett.
I think it's usually pretty huge.
No, but it's like Harvest Moon or something like that. It's, it's
okay.
like a giant
Yes.
up in the sky. Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs, Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and Kenny Howe.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We cannot do this show without you.
And we'd like more of you.
Yes. We like more of you to do the show even more betterer.
Yes.
And, but with that comes I'm not going to get into all the things that this helps do, but we would love to do even more for all of you.
Yes.
So thank you. If you've been thinking about it, like Ed Rossler,
Yeah.
and several others who have hey, I've listened for a long time and I just felt it was time to do it. Now's a good time. Do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we're not going to.
What have you got to lose?
We're not going to get pissed about that.
No.
Jonathan Fellows, thank you so much for joining us. It was great talking with you. Great learning about these absolutely fantastic guitars that you're building. And yes, and for your time. So thank you.
Well, thanks, guys. It was a pleasure getting to actually talk to you instead of. I feel like after listening to your podcast a number of times that I kind of feel like, well, I know these guys, but I've actually never talked to them. So it was good to actually talk to you.
Yeah.
And maybe you can know me too.
Yes, indeed.
Won't you be my neighbor?
We will have
exactly.
a great big smiley face and a giant hello for you when we see you in person too.
And once again,
Looking forward to it.
where can people go to find your great stuff?
Yep. www. Well, I guess you don't really have to do that anymore, right?
No.
Fellowsguitars.com. Fellows or at Fellows Guitars on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok.
Indeed.
Beautiful.
Okay. Tony, how about yourself?
Just go over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you're trying to do, what you need, what pickups you're using, what colors you want. All the good stuff. I'll make something special for you. As Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Correctamundo. And if you know where that's from, then we can be friends.
Hey.
Yeah, shoot me a DM on Instagram. We'd love to talk to you. We just love getting the messages from you guys. We really appreciate it. It just helps make this feel even that much more alive. We're glad that you are out there doing your thing. Have a fantastic guitar week and subscribe.
Whoop.
Okay, Jonathan, we are done.
All right.
Well, you don't have to sound so happy. Jeez.
No.
It's the one with
I don't.
Tony Shalhoub and
Tony Shalhoub. You mean Monk?
yes. Oh, it's the Jonathan.
Jonathan Fellows. Jonathan Fellows. And doo-ba-dee-dee, da-be-bing, buddy-ba-buddy-boo.
Who's the? Oh God, he played.
Donnie Most.
No. Ralph Melf.
Yeah.
There's
Jonathan
no doubt.
Fellows. You're not Louis Prima. I don't know who this Tony Shalhoub guy is.
It's
I see trees of green. Flowers too.
red roses too.
I said flowers though. Oh,
All right, there
you're
you
in
go.
the sweet spot, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can appreciate that.
Yes. Anyways, semantics, Tony. Look it up.
But yes. So the brothers are Tony Shalhoub and
Oh, Beto.
That
I want
is
to be like you, woo woo. Hoop, she body, woo wow. You know,
Yeah.
it was funny because we were walking down the street. We were at University of Cincinnati where my daughter goes, and this lady who was just kind of walking down the street, just yelling and cursing and all kinds of stuff, and like, you know, coming in between people that are walking. And she passed us, and she said some curse words, and I said, "Madam, language," and my daughter whipped around in front of me and said, "Dad, you can't do that. That's not cool." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I can."
And I often do.
And I will. But also, I was like, I hated the idea of my daughter not seeing me with shiny armor, you know? And oh man, that walloped me. I wasn't expecting that. Stanley Tucci doesn't look anything like Tony Shalhoub. Slimmity bang, ba ding bong, boozle, flim flam, shaboozle daddy.
I would have a spindrift if somebody gave me
I'll
one.
get you a spindrift.
Okay.
I'll get you a nasty flavored one if you keep that attitude up. I haven't heard the Tony Shalhoub in 30 years.
Oh, nice. I'm a nice guy after all.
You really are. And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.